Welcome back, dear viewers. You're still watching this rolling and extensive coverage only on Nile TV International, covering the protests that are taking place in key squares nationwide in support of President Fattah al-Sisi and defying calls for spreading chaos across the countries that we have seen in recent days. And many believe that those behind these calls for spreading chaos and violence are the terrorist organization, the Muslim Brotherhood and its members. And to shed more light on this very important event taking place nationwide, we're most delighted to be joined over the phone by Mr. Sherif Amir, and he's a professor of international relations. Good afternoon, Dr. Sherif, and thank you so much for being with us on Nile TV International.
Thank you for having me.
Dr. Sherif, first of all, how do you see the scene today, Egyptians flocking in their thousands to key squares nationwide to send a clear message in support of President Fattah al-Sisi and defying chaos and violence?
Well, the first element that shows that Egypt is living in a good or is on the good way now is that President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi just came back from the UN Assembly General, and he was greeted by all the leaders of the world. They know that he is a democratically elected president. He is the voice of 100 million Egyptians, and he carries all their worries and their demands to the world. So this is the international recognition of democracy in Egypt. The second point that I would like to emphasize is that we are living in democracy now, and everyone has the right to say their vote, but we are against destruction, we are against chaos, we are against instability. I think that all the countries of the world have the same regulations, whether in France, Russia, the United States. There is law and order. The people who are voicing their support for the president, look at the pictures. They are voicing their opinion very peacefully, joyfully, and this is what we need to see in democracy. If someone has another opinion, they could show it also, but with calm and decency and respect of the country. But those who are calling for chaos, for aggression against our military and our police, I don't think that they really have a concern for this country. And I think President al-Sisi today, when he came back to Egypt, he had this smile of confidence of a leader who gave the assurance to his people that Egypt is doing well, that Egypt is capable of going through all these problems. The Egyptians went through a lot in 2011, and then for several years till the revolution of June 30th, 2013. The people of Egypt went through a lot. They gained experience. The youth, they know that they have gained experience. The social media are playing the same old game. We all know that what Turkey and Qatar are doing. The same figures are coming back, and nobody is listening to their lies. I emphasize again at the point, of course, there's different opinions. We are in democracy. We are 100 million people, and protests against and pro are everywhere in the world. In France, the Yellow Vest. In Russia, in the United States, some people are against President Trump. Everywhere, and Brexit in England. So this is democracy. We are living the same era, but law and order has to be respected.
Dr. Sherif, sorry to jump in here, but speaking about the hostile governments of Qatar and Turkey, what does the pictures we're seeing now of the thousands of Egyptians flocking to the streets send to these hostile governments?
It sends a clear message. They're claiming that there is oppression and there is instability. Well, the people are in the streets. I don't see any images like that in Qatar or in Turkey. They have their own people and all in the prisons. Erdogan has the highest rate of oppression against his own people. It's a dictatorship. Everyone knows it. Qatar, we know what they are seeking to do, not only in Egypt. They ruined Syria, they ruined Libya, they're ruining everywhere. So we all know what's taking place there. So I think that the images show that there are people who are supporting the president, supporting democracy. Well, they have to know, understand, maybe the Turkish government or in Qatar, they don't understand what's the meaning of a ballot poll. It means that you go and vote democratically because they don't have this life. Well, we had it. The people went, they voted, they chose President Sisi. We all chose this path. We know there are sacrifices. We know that the living cost is very difficult, but the president was honest from the first day. He said that we will pay a very heavy price, and we accepted it. It's a contract between him and us. So this is democracy, and people now who are on the streets are expressing their support for what we're going through. We are building 14 major cities on the coast of the Mediterranean. In Alamein, we have the new capital, the administrative capital. Of course, these countries like Turkey and Qatar do not wish to see Egypt that strong. So these pictures show that the people are emphasizing their right of democracy. They gave the vote for this man, and we support him because we know that we have to go through all these hardships in order to build our country.
Yes, thank you so much, Dr. Sherif Amir, Professor of International Relations. Thank you so much for your input and your valuable insights on Nile TV International. Pictures of Egyptians in the Memorial Square in the Nasr City neighborhood east of the Egyptian capital Cairo with their flags there. We're seeing thousands of Egyptians holding the Egyptian flag, waving the Egyptian flags, and also the pictures supporting President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi as their legitimate president. And as we heard our dear guest over the phone, Mr. Sherif, saying that Egyptians chose President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi since he took helm, and they have full confidence and support in their president and in the steps being taken by the president and the Egyptian state towards stability, economic reform, and also building the future of Egypt. And we're seeing these flags and banners of President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi in the streets of and also in key squares, not only in Cairo but also nationwide. We're seeing the Egyptians flocking in their thousands to defy any call for chaos and also any call for violence. And also we have heard from our guests and commentators that the pictures we're seeing now sends a crystal clear message to the hostile governments that are after the instability, causing or willing to cause instability in Egypt, that their attempts have deterred and failed, and that the Egyptians are united in support of their President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi.
بلدي يا بلدي يا بلدي يا حبيبتي راجعة زي طير، يا حبيبتي راجعة زي طير، راجع لأحضان الصحاب، بالحضن يم الشوق حرير، يلي فتحتي ألف باب، يا سينا من سينا اللي فات، يا أغلى الذكريات، يا شراع في بحر بينفرد، مدد 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 مدد، الله الله الله.
واحنا هنبني بفضل الله سبحانه وتعالى. احنا واخدين الطريق الصعب قوي، بس بيكوا يا مصريين
ومحدش ابدا هيقدر يمنعنا ان احنا نبني ونكمل.
نادت 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 بلدي يا بلدي يا بلدي أمر الرجوع فرد القلوع أمر الرجوع فرد القلوع ولا عادش ياسينا فراق راجعين بدون حزن ودموع نفرش رمالك بالضياء مهما عقول الناس تتوب الابن راح يرجع لابوه ويعيش في حضنه للأبد مدد 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 الله الله الله.
اللي هيحافظ على مصر شعب مصر، واللي هيحمي البلد دي شعبها.
جيشنا سهل ولا ايه؟ جيشنا صعب ما حدش يقدر عليه. جيشنا صعب في التاريخ اسأل عليه. جيشنا صعب مصر في قلبه جوه عليه. فاكرين ايه؟ جيشنا سهل ولا ايه؟ جيشنا صعب ما حدش يقدر عليه. جيشنا صعب في التاريخ اسأل عليه. جيشنا صعب مصر في قلبه جوه عليه. نعيد أمجادنا بإيدينا ما نعتمدش غير علينا والخير كله يبقى لينا وكل واحد فينا يشتغل ما يبصش غير لنفسه يقلق في حالة واحدة لما العالم ينافسه. الفراعنة عملوا كفرك معروفين كل اللي حاربنا ندموا ورجعوا خسرانين. احنا الفراعنة عملوا كفرك معروفين كل اللي حاربنا ندموا ورجعوا خسرانين. ثقتنا في ربنا ثم في أهل أرضنا بنعمر ونطور بكل عزمنا.
First to know.